Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another Extravagant Few Minutes live here on 12 Ounce Sports. And of course, our YouTube channel, which is 12 Ounce Sports, where we invite you to subscribe to it to get all of our great content that we've got on the network, including the extravaganza with yours truly and my new sidekick, Mitch Bernstein from the Burn with Mitch. Also, the ACHA Power Play, our weekly show on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. And of course, all the other programming, Philly Pete, the Daily Dive, what just happened, Greg's fantasy picks. We've got it all right here on 12 Ounce Sports. Well, the big game is here. It's coming up Sunday, 6 o'clock. All the hype is going to be over. Finally, thank goodness. The 2-week break is just about over. Super Bowl 59, Kansas City and Philadelphia. Kansas City right now, 1.5-point favorite. It's pretty much stayed that way the whole 2 weeks. The over-under has kind of fluctuated maybe 0.5 point or so. That's it. It's at 48.5. So expecting maybe a high-scoring game. Who knows? It's going to be a great game nonetheless. These two teams, of course, met a couple of years ago, and Kansas City won that one by a field goal. Something tells me it's going to be the same thing again this year. Do you have Chiefs fatigue yet? Has it set in? I think 98% of the country it really has. And I've gone back and forth on this a little bit. I'm not really fatigued with it after all. I just want to sit back and watch a great game. Should Kansas City win, I think it'll be all right. Patrick Mahomes, in that game against Buffalo, he really performed well. It was a great game between those two teams. He just, in the clutch, he just knows how to get it done. And how can you not appreciate that? I really like it. And again, is he going to be able to do it against the Philadelphia defense tomorrow? Who knows? I think the Eagles are going to have to find a way to contain him. Obviously, they're going to have to take away the middle of the field too. That is where Travis Kelce really shines. But I got a feeling that Kansas City might tap into somebody that they really haven't relied on. Potentially a Kareem Hunt. I don't know, maybe Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Who knows? If you're Philadelphia, I think obviously Saquon Barkley is going to have a say in the game, but I honestly think, I really do, that Jalen Hurts is going to be the star of that one if Philadelphia is going to win that one. I think for them to win, he's going to have at least 300 yards combined offense, rushing and passing. So I got a feeling the quarterbacks are going to be obviously the mainstays of this game tomorrow, but it's going to be fun to watch, and I really like the over in this one. So kind of a hint as Presley's going to stop by in a few minutes with her picks in her latest edition of Presley's Picks. Should Kansas City win? Here's the question that I have for you. Will Mahomes be considered the greatest quarterback of all time? I know it may be early to some to say that with Tom Brady with all his rings, but just think about it. 4 Super Bowls already in this early span of his career. This is his 5th trip to the Super Bowl. I mean, he's not even 30 years old yet, and he's doing some amazing things. All the guy does is win. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? What about Andy Reid? He had that run with Philadelphia years ago where he got to 5 straight NFC championship games, got to a Super Bowl, and now he's done the same amazing things with Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. Is he up there with Bill Belichick, Vince Lombardi, that type of thing? Who knows? I think it really is something to keep an eye on. And you know what? I don't want to hear the talk about the coaching. Yeah, he wouldn't do it with Patrick Mahomes. All right. Bill Belichick wouldn't have done it without Tom Brady. Chuck Noll wouldn't have done it without Terry Bradshaw. Jimmy Johnson wouldn't have done it without Troy Aikman. Bill Walsh without Joe Montana. That argument is so tired. I don't want to hear that anymore. I think should they win tomorrow, Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, he and Andy Reid have got to be considered, if not the greatest tandem of all time, they're in the top 2 or possibly the top 3 at the absolute worst. All right, a couple of other things to look at this past weekend. How about Josh Allen getting the MVP of the National Football League and edging out Lamar Jackson? The vote was very close in that one. Not surprised about it. Josh Allen had a great second half of the year. And obviously, he did wonders against Detroit in that game in prime time. And again, this is a regular season award. I get it. And he's been knocking on the door. Lamar Jackson was deserving too. I wouldn't have been surprised either way. I kind of hope maybe that Saquon Barkley would have got it. He got the Offensive Player of the Year award, which is okay. I guess the first question is, if they wouldn't have sat him out and he would have broke that record, would that have gotten him over the top? I really don't think so. But Saquon got the Offensive Player of the Year. And also, they gave it, though, to Josh Allen. Congratulations on him being the MVP. Kevin O'Connell got the Coach of the Year award over Dan Quinn and Dan Campbell of the Detroit Lions. Now, I know there's a lot of Detroit Lion fans that are upset that Dan Campbell didn't get the win as Coach of the Year. And they're saying, well, what else could he do winning 15 games? But I like this, that he didn't get it. And I'll tell you why. Dan Campbell, if he can't get Coach of the Year with 15 wins, that just tells you that is expected in Detroit. This, again, is new territory for Detroit Lions fans and for the Detroit Lions in general. It's been decades, decades, that Detroit hasn't been considered a top team in the NFL back in the 1950s. So if you think about it this way, this is how you really got to think about it. It's expected for Dan Campbell to win 15 games with that roster. They have established a winning culture, and they're going to be back. So that tells you that maybe Dan Campbell winning 15 games wasn't a surprise. He did it with a lot of talent. And I got to give Kevin O'Connell credit. Minnesota wasn't expected to win that Coach of the Year award. So give it to Kevin O'Connell. He can have it. I'll take Detroit winning the division with 15 wins and Dan Campbell every year. I'll take that over a Coach of the Year award. Now the next step, obviously, for the Lions is to get to this game that they're playing tomorrow, the Super Bowl. So we'll see about that in the near future. All right, and finally, in the world of the Hall of Fame, if you will, how about these names getting into the Hall of Fame? Antonio Gates, Jared Allen, Eric Allen, and Sterling Sharp all getting into the Hall of Fame. Well-deserved, if you ask me. Jared Allen terrorized Detroit all those years, and not just the Lions, everybody else in the NFL. Antonio Gates, one hell of a tight end out of the Detroit area, played for San Diego, and of course was a basketball player at Kent State. Didn't even play football for the Kent State Golden Flashes. And Sterling Sharp, he did some wonders in Green Bay. I'll never forget him doing jumping jacks in the end zone in that playoff game way back in 1994 against the Detroit Lions. Wide open. Brett Favre found him on that long bomb. Yeah, I get nightmares about that, but all well-deserved. And Eli Manning not getting into the Hall of Fame, I'm not upset with this. Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback? He's going to get in because he won 2 Super Bowls, and that's it. His numbers were okay, but he was a winning quarterback, and that sooner or later will get him into the Hall of Fame, deserve it or not. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Presley's going to come by. She's going to give you her picks for the Super Bowl, the big game tomorrow. We've got a little bit more after that. You're watching an extravagant few minutes right here on 12 Ounce Sports.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Presley's back with another edition of Presley's Picks right here on the Extravaganza. Super Bowl 59 is right around the corner. Let's get right into it. Presley's teaser, his big teaser parlay bet, is going to be taking Philadelphia plus 7.5 and take the over 42.5. It's a 6-point teaser. That'll get you minus 120. Presley said that he had a dream last night to take the coin toss with Kansas City winning it. It's plus 100. That's a neat little prop bet. Also, take Patrick Mahomes over 5.5 rushing attempts. That'll get you minus 134. And finally, his last prop bet of the year for football, take Jalen Hurts, combined rushing and passing yards over 275. That's plus 123. Take those, bet some dog biscuits and pizza pies. You'll get a double cheese and pepperoni just like I've been eating here on Presley's Prop Bets. All right, everybody, there you go. Presley says, give me the prop bets. Give me Jalen Hurts minus or over 275 combined yards. That's the one that I like the most right there with Presley's prop bets. And again, her other prop bets. Patrick Mahomes, he's been doing it all year for us with those rushing attempt prop bets. Got to ride the wave on that one. Plus over 5.5 with the rushing attempts, minus 134. And the coin toss, yeah, hey, why not? 50-50, you always got to bet the coin toss, right? Why not? That's an established prop bet. It's plus 100. So that means even money. Why not? Throw a sawbuck on that. Maybe a slice of pizza or half a dog biscuit on that one at plus 100. So there you go. Presley's prop bets. And her teaser parlay. I really like this teaser parlay. I'm going to roll with this one as well. Presley's teaser, Philadelphia plus 7.5 and over 42.5. Basically, that means with the line at 1.5, you're going to add 6 and subtract 6 from the over. Minus 120. Pretty safe bet on that one because I think that game is going to be well over 42.5 points. So, all right, there you go on that. Hey, something else going on if you're watching this here on Saturday at 12 o'clock. The Red Wings are playing tonight, or this afternoon, rather, before the break, before the four-nation break with the tournament, the 2-week break that the NHL has. Riding a 7-game winning streak coming into this one against Tampa Bay this afternoon. This one's got a little bit of spice left into it here this afternoon. The last time these two teams played, JT Compher got injured with a blindsided hit, and also Rasmussen got tripped face first into the net from behind by Kucherov as he was going in with the empty net goal. So maybe a little bit of bad blood going into this one. But nonetheless, Detroit needs to focus. Should they win this one, it'll be an 8-game winning streak. The Todd father is 15-4-1 going into this one here this afternoon against Tampa. And again, the last game before the break for Detroit as the Four Nations tournament starts next week in the NHL. And also they get their 2-week break. So is the break coming at a bad time for the Red Wings as they are white hot? We'll have to wait and see on that. Elsewhere coming up this afternoon, if you're watching this again on Saturday, the Michigan State Spartans are at home. They're hosting Oregon. And with that, a celebration, a 25th anniversary of their year 2000 national championship. They're an 8.5-point favorite at home against Oregon. Michigan on the road this afternoon against Indiana in Indiana, in Bloomington. They're a 2.5-point favorite there as well. All right, let's get back to the big game. Here's my prediction for the big game tomorrow, Super Bowl 59. As I've been saying throughout the morning here, or throughout the show, it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I'm going to roll with it. Until somebody knocks Kansas City off, I can't bet against the Chiefs. So I'm going to take Kansas City in a higher-scoring affair. I just think there's going to be some points scored in this one. Harrison Butker is going to get the game-winning field goal. Patrick Mahomes is going to get the MVP. Final score in this one, it's going to be Kansas City 34, Philadelphia 31. So there you go. That means I'm going to take Kansas City laying the 1.5, and I'm going to take the over at 48.5. All right, that's going to do it for an extravagant few minutes live here on 12 Ounce Sports. Make sure to catch us 7 o'clock Wednesday night for another edition of the Extravaganza. Special guest, Keith Gave, longtime reporter of the Detroit Free Press. He's going to stop by and talk about his new book, The Grind Line, right here on 12 Ounce Sports and the Captain Lou Extravaganza. We also have another edition of the ACHA Power Play, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, the road to St. Louis. It's coming around the bend. We're just about a month away from puck drop and the 2025 National Tournament. All right, thanks again for allowing us to come into your homes via your TV screen or your computer screen or your iPhone, however you're watching us around the world, right here on an extravagant few minutes on 12 Ounce Sports. Captain Lou saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. So long, everybody.